Hey everyone, Onita here. How are you all going? Are you all ready for October? It is spooky season. Halloween is upon us. I'm so excited. I have a mixture of books. I got smaller books. I have novel length books. And I have 12 books. And I think it's a good thing that I have smaller books and then normal length books or just novel book length books to help me get through the reading of it a bit quicker. If you see me looking down, I got my laptop down here. I believe only one of them is considered more fantasy than horror, but it does have horror elements into it. So let's just get on with it. And I also, before I do get on with it, I do want to say that I do have books that I've carried over from last year that I didn't get a chance to read from last year. And I believe they were The Troop, Night Film, and Bunny. Those were the ones I had wanted to read last year but just did not get the chance to. Okay, now we can move on to the books. The first book that I would like to read in the month of October is The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. This is the one that's classified as more fantasy than horror, but I have heard that there is some like horror atmosphere, horror vibes going for it. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a bit of a long synopsis and I tried to break it down a little bit into like the main themes or the main plots of the books that I could pick out, but this one was just a bit too big for me to break it down a little bit to simplify it. I believe it follows a woman who lives in a town called Bethel. Her mother had some sort of interaction with this different species or this different race of people or creatures or whoever, whatever. And it means that this woman, like the daughter that we're seeing the perspective of, is frowned upon, is looked upon quite differently. The town is said to be very religious, a cult-like religion kind of thing. I believe the town, the village, chase this main character that we're following, the daughter, and she runs off into the woods where she finds the journal of her mother. And I believe the mother writes that the town is not a great place. There's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of secrets in this town. I believe that's it. I think that's like the main thing I'm getting from the plot, from the synopsis. Mexican Gothic by Sylvie. They're getting tongue-tied here. Sylvia Moreno Garcia. It is the second book I would like to read in October. It follows Noemi as she heads to the high place because her recently wed cousin, has written her a frantic letter saying to Noemi to come and save her from a mysterious doom. It is said to be Gothic horror, and I don't believe I have read many Gothic horror novels before. This will most likely be my first, and I'm curious to see if I will like it or not. The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones is a dark novel of revenge, cultural identity, and the cost of breaking from tradition. It follows 4 young American Indian men after a disturbing event from their youth puts them in a desperate struggle for their lives. Tracked by an entity bent on revenge, these childhood friends are helpless as the culture and traditions they left behind catch up to them in a violent, vengeful way. The Troop by Nick Cutter. It follows a group of young boys and their scoutmaster, Tim Riggs, as they embark on a 3-day camping trip to the Canadian wilderness, which is a once-a-year tradition. A thin, pale man stumbles upon their campsite, which leads to the group being exposed to this intruder, who is a carrier of a bioengineering nightmare. It spreads incredibly fast, and the group struggle to survive against the elements, the infected, and one another. And apparently there is animal abuse in this book as well, so just trigger warnings for that. And the troop is said to be quite gruesome, quite gory, really disgusting, like it'll make your stomach churn. Night Film by Marisha Pessel. I believe this is the longest book on my TBR and one I have heard a lot of good things about and has been on my radar for quite a while. It follows investigative journalist Scott McGrath as he investigates the mysterious circumstances surrounding the death of Ashley Cordova. It also follows Ashley Cordova's legendary reclusive cult horror film director, like her father, Stanislaus Cordova, gosh, I know I'm saying that incorrectly, and the family's seemingly cursed dynasty. Driven by revenge, curiosity, and a need for the truth, McGrath with the aid of two strangers, is drawn deeper and deeper into Cordova's eerie, hypnotic world. The last time he got close to exposing the director, McGrath lost his marriage and his career. This time he might lose even more. Bunny by Mona Awad, probably the most weirdest book. Well, most likely the second most weirdest book in this TBR. We follow Samantha Heather Mackey, a young woman who has been accepted in this highly selective MFA program at New England's Warren University through a scholarship program. There is this clique of really rich girls in the university that all call each other Bunny. It's like just disturbing. It's like a really intense cult-like sorority. They invited Samantha to their group, and Samantha can't resist as she's inexplicably drawn into their world, into their dorm, their front door. There are ritualistic off-campus workshops where they conjure their monstrous creations. What other creations they conjure up, only reading this book will tell me. And I've also heard that it's about when you go into Goodreads, like the blurb, underneath that blurb it said it's about the power of the imagination, whatever that means, I don't know. And now we are getting into the shorter books, the novella length books that I have on this TBR. The first one being And Then I Wake Up by Malcolm Devlin, I should say. This is a recent release as well. This book is said to be a creepy, layered literary story about false narratives and their ability to divide us. There is an unusual plague taking over the world that affects how reality is perceived. There is a rehabilitation facility, and Spence, who is one of the cured, is living here. And he doesn't want to go out into this new changed world. He wants to stay where he is safe. But he's gonna have to go out of this facility and wander this new world because an inmate challenges him to help her, who is the inmate challenging him, to find her old crew. Want to know how the plague started? It's very interesting to me. Patricia Wants to Cuddle, another very weird book on this TBR by Samantha Allen. There is this bachelor-style competition called The Catch, and these 4 women are finalists on the show. They travel to this island, this mysterious island in the Pacific Northwest, to win the heart of the bachelor, who's a bit of an aloof sleazebag. The island is not what it seems because there is a lesbian Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot, whose name is Patricia. She wants to cuddle, she wants her love, she wants her time in the spotlight, she's sick of being in the shadows, and Patricia goes on a bit of a hunting spree and hunts down these women, and these women have to survive the night if they want to get to the next elimination event. Oh, how do you think of something like that? A lesbian Sasquatch? I don't know, but I'm gonna find out by reading the book. Come Closer by Sarah Green has been popping up a little bit here and there when I've been searching for books on what to read next. This one has been coming up every so often. A recurrent, unidentifiable noise in her apartment, a memo to her boss that's replaced by obscene insults. Amanda, a successful architect in a happy marriage, finds her life going off kilter by degrees. She starts smoking again, and one night for no reason, without even the knowledge that she's doing it, she burns her husband with a cigarette. At night she dreams of a beautiful woman with pointed teeth on the shore of a blood-red sea. The new voice in Amanda's head, the one that tells her to steal things and talk to strange men in bars, is strange and frightening, and Amanda struggles to wrest back control of her life. Is she possessed by a demon, or is she simply insane? Described as a new kind of psychological thriller, and this year's scariest novel by the time out New York, Come Closer has become a modern classic with a kick that will stay with the reader for days afterward. I don't want my hype meter to raise unrealistically, but it kind of has after reading that. I just hope it doesn't do the thing where the woman is actually insane. That's a big pet peeve of me, and that would piss me off if that were to be true. Comfort Me with Apples by Catherine M. Valente follows Sophia and her perfect life, a perfect husband, her perfect home, together in the Arcadia Gardens. Everything is perfect, but her husband is away for work a lot and she misses him terribly, and he works very hard apparently. He says he misses her too, but there is something mysterious going on with her perfect husband. He won't answer her questions. There is a locked basement that she's not allowed to enter, and whenever she asks the neighbors, they can't quite meet her gaze. I've heard really, really good things about this one. I've heard it's really disturbing. I've heard there's a bit of a twist going on, especially, I'm assuming, with a locked basement. It's a shame I haven't heard good things about this next book, which is Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Cole. This is the lowest rated book on my TBR, but yet I'm still curious about it. It is said to be a gorgeously creepy haunted house tale steeped in Japanese folklore and full of devastating twists. There is this group of friends who rent out the supposedly perfect mansion for a wedding. I don't think they know that this place is haunted until this supernatural entity, a ghost bride with a black smile and a hungry heart, starts lurking in the shadows and starts haunting the friends. Yikes because of the low rating, and yikes because why would you want to hire or rent out this mansion that is haunted? I don't know. I think they have it coming for him, if you ask me. The last book on my list, which is the most shortest book on this TBR, is Sour Candy by Keelan Patrick Burke. At first glance, Phil Pendleton and his son Adam are just an ordinary father and son, no different from any other. They take walks in the park together, visit country fairs, museums and zoos, and eat together overlooking the lake. Some might say the father is a little too accommodating given the lack of discipline when the child loses his temper in public. Some might say he spoils his son by allowing him to set his own bedtimes and eat candy whenever he wants. Some might say that such leniency is starting to take its toll on the father given how his health has declined. Excuse the dog out there. What no one knows is that Phil is a prisoner, and that up until a few weeks ago, in a chance encounter at a grocery store, he never had seen the child before in his life. You know, that sounds like a short movie from this anthology horror movie called Trick or Treat, where there is this really creepy kid, right? This kid's like a demon, and these parents wanted to get rid of this demon child, so they literally give this child into the front door of this other family that are like, take him, we don't want him, but you gotta feed him because if you feed him, he'll follow you, kind of thing. That is it. That's all the books. Do you think I can do it? I don't know, fingers crossed. Let me know down below, what books are you going to be reading this month? Have you read any of these books? Did you like them? Have you got any other suggestions for me for next year? I would really like to know. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.